An intimate and complex look at the realities of providing reproductive health care after the reversal of Roe v. Wade. The Devil is Busy follows the daily lives of the staff at a women's health clinic in Atlanta. And award-winning journalist Soledad O'Brien is one of the executive producers. She's joining us this morning to talk about it. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
Full disclosure, she is one of my mentors and friends, so I'm always a big fan of your work.
And
You're doing
likewise.
such amazing work. Tell us about this latest project.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, the Devil is Busy is a look at an abortion clinic in Georgia. We were really interested in the wake of the end of Roe v. Wade to see what would happen, what would be the implications. And I and many others, I think, knew what was coming. So we started to try to figure out what that story would be. We ended up grabbing two fantastic directors, Crystal in Hampton and Gita Gandabir. And we were able to find the story of a really amazing woman whose name is Tracy, and she's a security guard, very religious, deeply religious security guard at this clinic. And I think telling the story of abortion in America post Roe v. Wade through the point of view of the security guard was really complicated and nuanced and very different. So we love this documentary. It's a doc short.
It was very different. It's only 30 minutes, so everyone can watch this. You can't say you don't have time to watch it. But what I love, too, is it doesn't debate the morality of abortion. You see Tracy, who's very sympathetic to the women coming to get health care access. And then you have the protesters outside who are, of course, very critical and have their own complicated stories. But you decided not to debate whether abortion was right or wrong.
Yeah, I think often the conversations around abortion are like, there's this side versus that side. But when you talk to women who have had abortions, know people who've had abortions, it's much more complicated than that. And so we wanted to capture that complication. And I think Tracy is a great, I hate the word character, but great person through whom to capture that, because she herself is complicated. Often when you talk about religion and abortion, you're talking about the protesters, deeply religious, they're quoting the Bible. Excuse me. And so to have Tracy, who is deeply religious, and actually talking about the Bible and the protesters as well, was just kind of a different way to look at an issue that I think for a really long time we have not really captured the nuance of it.
Absolutely. And at the heart of the issue is really access to women's health care, which we hear many times throughout the documentary.
Well, the doctors really explain, okay, so how has this policy now landed on them? And what do? How do you think about how to help patients? Do you lose your job? Do you risk your job? Do you risk jail? Do you just leave and leave women without a clinic to help them in some capacity? And all of those things we're seeing unfold right now. So it's a really interesting time to be looking at this information.
It is, and it makes you look at what women in the U.S. are going to do about it. We were talking this week about a Gallup poll that recently found 40% of women between the ages of 15 and 45 would leave the U.S. if they could. We should note
that's a crazy poll, right?
It's 4 times higher than in 2014, and they do believe political attitudes have something to do with that. You think it has something to do with this abortion crisis?
So I was watching somebody who was laughing about it and kind of like it was a joke, and 40% is insane. And these are not people who are planning to leave at this moment. These are people who said that they have a desire. And I remember thinking, like, I totally understand why this number exists, right? Because I think for a lot of women, those are women in childbearing years, look at what's happening across the country to rights for autonomy over your own reproductive health. I mean, so I'm not surprised by that number. I'm not surprised it's 40%. But I don't think it's a laughable matter. I think women at this moment have many reasons to think like the environment is really tough for a lot of women in that age group.
Absolutely. What do you hope people get out of the doc? Because this is such a polarizing issue, and I know you probably don't think that this changes anyone's opinion on abortion. You know,
I just like capturing, and I always have for every project we do, how do you capture the reality of what is unfolding, right? How do you, there's not a reporter in it. I'm not telling you, here's my take on it. This is my version of it. This is following a day in the life of the security guard at the clinic. And I think that allows people to say, we get to just see what unfolds. And you get to see and hear from the protesters. You get to see and hear from Tracy, who's there, because they're there day in and day out. And how that happens, to me, was just a really fascinating look at an issue that is very divisive, but also I don't think we talk very honestly about it, to be honest.
Absolutely. So how can everybody watch?
On HBO. We would love to have folks come and just check it out. Again, 31 minutes. So come on.
Nice and easy to watch, but very important. Okay, and then I have to give you a shout out for The Perfect Neighbor on on Netflix. Everybody's talking about it, and I'm so proud when I hear people say it. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's Soledad's project. It's a great one.
Yeah, thank you. We're really excited about that. It's been fun. You know, it's always fun to work on docs that are really great and work with people who are really great as well. We had a great team. Geeta Gandabir is a director of that project.
Amazing.
As well. We do a lot of work with her and her team. And also, just a shout out to her, she's one of the best mentors of women that I have ever experienced in my entire life. So
Wonderful.
I love that about her too.
From an amazing mentor herself. Soledad, thank you for being with us. Congratulations on the project.